How you doing? Martin Lopez from the Curiosity Theory from Men's Breakthrough Challenge, and today we're going to talk about conflict as an opportunity. So, it's a real powerful skill to recognize conflict as an opportunity rather than a threat, but it's really easy to recognize conflict as a threat because when most people experience conflict, they go into that reptilian mode, the fight, flight, or freeze. They start to defend or they start to attack. So, and that's automatic. That just happens like as an instant. Somebody says something to you, you defend yourself, or you attack, or you just freeze, right? So those are the different modes. Those are the reptilian modes, and that's governed by a reptilian brain back here. And when you're using curiosity, you're actually tapping into the neocortex. You're switching the amygdala, rather than go down and say, "Hey, let's fight. Let's just beat our way through this and fight our way out of this problem." Let's actually use our brain to see what's going on here. And it's that little instant. It's that instant between the conflict and that you have that opportunity. You have that little moment that you have that opportunity. I think Viktor Frankl said, well, I know Viktor Frankl said, I don't know if I'm going to mess up his quote. He said something between stimulus and response. There's a moment, and that's when the opportunity is. It's in that little moment. So what you do is you take a breath when you're experiencing conflict, and you start to look and start to ask yourself, well, what's the opportunity here? I'm my boss is yelling at me, or I'm upset with somebody, or I'm upset with a coworker, or I'm upset with my kids, I'm upset with my spouse, my girlfriend, somebody, or my neighbor, whatever. Somebody cuts me off. So the knee jerk reaction, the natural thing is to fight, is to say something, cuss them, flip them off, or something like that, or yell at them. That's what we do naturally and very, very easily, because our bodies, our brains, our souls, our spirits, we're built to protect ourselves, to keep ourselves living. And what happens is things that are not really threats, things that are not really threatening our lives, seem to feel like they're threatening our lives. So my mic keeps dropping. Let me see if I can tighten it up a little bit better. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, so please like and comment. I really appreciate it. I love the hearts. I really, really do love the hearts. So the idea is about, recognizing conflict as an opportunity rather than a threat. So I have a handout that I have in my online course. I haven't really promoted the online course that much. Let me see. Let me make myself about the same size here. Actually, let me make this bigger. I created a course, an online course, around the curiosity theory, a path from conflict resolution. And what I did is I included the audio, I included the book, and then what I did is I broke down deeper in greater detail what points I was trying to make in the chapters, because the book in itself is only 68 pages, so it's a real quick read. But I say a lot, but I didn't want to just have a book that just had a whole bunch of just a whole bunch of just words and just a big old book. I wanted a book so that people would access that book and they would start to learn off that book. So let's take a look. So basically what happens in chapter 2 of my book, is I start off talking about, I needed an opportunity once I realized this idea of conflict. Once I realized curiosity, rather. Once I realized curiosity can help me through conflict, I had to find opportunities to practice using curiosity during conflict. Well, I mean, if you're like me, I mean, there's all kinds of opportunities in life, right? Relationships, business, just driving down the street, going into a supermarket. Yeah, yesterday it was really interesting. I went to a store and I was asking the gentleman a question at the register, and the way he responded to me, like it kind of like took me off, and I thought it was kind of rude, and that was just automatic. And I had to catch myself that I was judging this guy as being rude. I don't know what he's been through in the day, so I immediately let that go. So I used conflict as an opportunity, rather. I used conflict as an opportunity for me to work through those things that I want to be, that way that I want to be, which is kind, generous, and that kind of stuff. So, and let me find chapter 2 here. So Chapter two, it's called the first time I used curiosity on purpose. And the first question I ask is, what does it look like when you intentionally use curiosity? What does it look like? Well, so let's do that. So what I do is I have a handout. If you want the handout, just DM me and I'll send you this handout. Let me get my I step to the counter, I ask him a question, and he says something. I don't like the way he responds, so I say the guy's a jerk, right? So that's the story. So what was the fact are is I said something, he said something. The story is what I'm saying. And the thing about stories is stories are going to build up your narrative. They're always going to build up your narrative. They're always going to build up what is automatic for you, that knee jerk response. So if you have a knee jerk response, let's say it's let's say at work when or you're making phone calls, right? And you have to make cold calls and people keep hanging up on you, or people don't want to buy what you're selling, right? So you're going to have a response to that. Your body's going to build up some type of response. So you're either going to become really hard and like well, there's a lot of different ways you can be. But one way you can be is you can become really like hard and cold, like I don't care, forget it, it's just a numbers game. I'm just going to call and that guy's a jerk, or say whatever you want to say, right? Or you can go, man, I hate this job. It's a terrible job. This really sucks. So you're going to make up a story about the fact somebody hung up on you. You're going to make up a story. You're driving down the street. Somebody cuts you off. You're going to make up a story. Your boss calls you and says, hey, we need to talk. You're going to make up a story really, really quick, right? So the stories are can be shaped anyway. And typically what's going to happen with a story is the story is going them. And that's how this thing works. That's so you want to be really careful about stories, and know that you're going to make a story, and that story that you make is probably not going to support maybe your for the most part, it's not going to support that part of you that you really want to work on, that part, that greatest version of yourself, right? So then the next question is apply curiosity. Well, how do you apply curiosity? What do you do, right? So how can you apply curiosity? So what you want to do is get curious about the facts. What I mean by that? What I mean, get curious about the facts. Well, I said this and he said that. Those are the facts, right? Yeah, but what is another fact? The fact is I made what he said mean something. That is a fact. I can see that it happened. I know that it happened. Inside of me, inside of me, that gentleman said something and I made it mean something. Wow. Okay. That's really, really important. And then I then believed it. So, how you apply curiosity is get curious about the facts. Look and see what you think are facts. Are they actually facts? And then break them down. Stay curious. Stay curious about the facts. Because if you stay curious, what you're going to do is you're going to start to see other facts that are layered. I heard a saying about a month or two, 3 months ago, and they said if you stack up enough facts, you can make any story. You can make a story come out any way you want to. So notice that even though you might not be making a story about the facts, you may not be telling yourself 100% of what the facts are. You might not be diving in. The power of curiosity is that it keeps you curious, so that you keep investigating, you keep diving into, well, what happened? What happened? Okay, only the facts, only the facts, only the facts. That's the first part. Second part is then you get curious about the stories. You want to get curious about the stories. I don't think my little my little cursor works on this. But the second thing is you want to get curious about the stories. And what we're talking about is see if you can make up another story. Well, maybe the guy was having a tough day. That actually serves that conversation better than that guy's a jerk. Maybe he's having maybe the guy's having a tough day. Then I become more empathetic. I'm just like, wow, are you doing okay, sir? Is everything okay? Yeah, I'm doing good. All right, cool. Now I have human connection because I'm being curious. See, when you're curious with people, it breaks down the barriers. So if I don't like the way someone responds to me, and then what I do is I look and I say, okay, this is what he said or she said. This is what I made it mean. If I can immediately turn that around and get curious about what other meaning can I make it, and the fact that curiosity is now in my neocortex, the chances of me making a story that support the direction that I want to live my life, the sale, if you will, in sales, if it's supporting the sale, if it's moving me in the direction I want to make, that's a greater opportunity for me and for the other people involved. Curiosity is a really, really, really powerful tool, right? So you want to get curious in the story about what you believe. Why do you believe it? Why do you believe this, right? And use curiosity to analyze your beliefs, because for most people, beliefs are facts to them. Beliefs are facts to most people. I believe this, and therefore it makes it a fact. Why? Because we're smart people. We've spent our life coming up with conclusions. We've investigated. We've seen things happen, and things make sense. So we then take our beliefs, and then we then apply our beliefs as though they're truth. And what is true is the same as what is fact. So be curious, stay curious, because the thing is that you don't have to give up what you believe. I'm not telling you, hey, you should give up what you believe. I'm not even saying anything even close to that. What I'm suggesting is that if you have the power to question your own beliefs, if you have the power to take one of your beliefs that you are very, 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 let's say, stuck on, and you believe it to absolutely be true, if you can take it and apply curiosity and look at it, wow, I wonder if this is in fact true, you're the person that's going to benefit. Because if it actually is true, you've actually looked at the other side. You've actually considered other alternatives. So it's a curiosity is always going to work to your benefit. Well, mostly always going to work. I don't find it too often it doesn't work, because we're all about ourselves. What's in it for me? So we're always looking to support ourselves and to support what we're up to. And if we approach life with a curious mindset, then I find that we're more apt to finding things that are supporting what we are up to in life. So if what you're up to in life is to be a kind person, to be a powerful man, to be a powerful woman, just to be a powerful person, and what you're doing is you're using curiosity to help you do that, and you're doing it in a way that serves you, that you're being neutral in the way you're approaching versus trying to manipulate, I think you're going to find that you're going to find curiosity a very, very, very powerful tool. So if you want a copy of the of this little handout, yeah, just DM me, and I put at the bottom of the handout a quote that Einstein made, and he said, "I have no special talent. I'm just passionately curious." And I think that's really, really great. The thing is, with curiosity, it doesn't require you to be incredibly intelligent. It doesn't require you to be anything except for the person is able to look at themselves and question what's going on with themselves. And what that does, that then brings out your inner wisdom. And so what you're doing is you're now following what you believe. You're now following your wisdom versus having to follow other people's. And I just think it's a real powerful way to live life. So yeah, just keep practicing curiosity, and just stay passionately curious. And please like and comment and share this with all your friends. And I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks a lot for hanging.